Hello again. So let's take a look at the novel. A novel is a long fictional narrative in prose that portrays different characters in a complex series of usually sequential events. Now, sometimes a novel will have flashbacks, or sometimes the author will completely change the order of events, and they won't be sequential, but usually that's how it is. Let's take a look at the origins a bit. This isn't a history of literature class, but I just want to touch on this. So prose goes back to the Greek era, but the roots of the novel are found in the 14th century with, for example, and some of these may ring a bell to you, Boccaccio in Italy, Don Juan Manuel in Spain, and Chaucer in England. These texts are based on a series of short tales, or novelle. They're all strung together by an external narrative frame. So, for example, Boccaccio's Decamerone, 10 short stories that are in the frame of the book itself. And that would be the narrative frame. So from these novelle, the word novella came about. And a novella is longer than a short story, but shorter than a novel. So the origins of the novel also stem back to the French tales of chivalry from the 12th century. The majority of Arthurian legends developed from this and were put in prose a few centuries later. And it's interesting because all these were precursors to Cervantes' Don Quixote. And Don Quixote is called by some as the first novel and called by others as the best novel ever written. So it's kind of an important point in our studies. From these early tales of Arthurian romance emerged the romance genre. They're long, fictitious stories in verse of often fantastical events in far-off places. From this, the word roman emerged, the French and base root word for novel in many languages. So, talking about Don Quixote for a sec, Don Quixote is seen as a realist novel, and the Arthurian tradition is based on fantasy. So, the novel has been in constant debate between these two opposing poles. While some novels are realist, others have to do with imaginary and faraway places and scenarios.